Hello everyone, welcome back to Milky Way Astrology, Ascendant and Moon Chart. So, what is Ascendant and what is Moon Chart? Why do astrologers use these two lagnas to understand the future? What are these two lagnas going to tell them? And if you are going to look at it, if I am going to look at it, how to interpret these two charts? If you have these kind of questions in your mind, then you have come to the right place. Ascendant and Moon Chart both are important. Ascendant is going to tell you what is going to happen, and Moon is going to tell you how it is going to happen. This is the main difference between both these. So, without delay, let's talk about the topic. First of all, what is Ascendant? Ascendant is the zodiac sign that is rising in the eastern horizon of your birthplace at the time of your birth. Like we have planets rising and setting every single day, we also have zodiac signs rising and setting every single day. Of course, we cannot see them in the daytime due to sunlight, but in the nighttime you can see those things because every single zodiac sign has specific constellations. Those constellations are what is called Aries, Taurus, Gemini, etc. Then, why do we give more importance to zodiac signs instead of planets? Because zodiac signs are the underlying theme. They are like the plate, and the planets are like the hot food. So you need the plate to carry that food so that you can enjoy the taste of your karma. They are like the background theme through which the planets are going to act and react accordingly. It's like planets are like the human beings and the zodiac signs are like the houses. Just imagine when you go to someone else's house, your behavior changes accordingly, right? The same way when a planet sits in other zodiac signs, that planet's characteristics also changes. Every planet has a set of characteristics, but when they sit in someone else's house ruled by some other planet, their behavior changes accordingly. So this is why we also call them houses, because they are like the residence, temporary residence. So at the time of your birth, whatever planet sits in whatever house, we take a snapshot and we call it your birth chart. So from the moment of your birth till the moment when you die, that planet is going to be there and you are going to get influenced through these planets, through the houses, through the nakshatras, everything. Next one is Moon. Moon stands for our mind. Mind has 4 different parts. One is Chitta, and then it starts with the Buddhi part. Buddhi is the intellectual part, like the intelligent mind, the logical mind. And then the second one is Manas. Manas means the actual mind itself. That stands for our emotional thoughts, emotional feelings. And then the third one is Chitta. I actually like the third one is Ahankara. The ego, your identity. Ego does not mean what we use in the day-to-day term. Ego actually means who you actually are, what your actual real identity is. And then the fourth one is Chitta. Chitta means the cosmic intelligence, your subconscious mind. It's like the Akashic records. So Buddhi stands for intellectual mind, the logical mind, through which you experience the material world, the scientific experiments we do, and then the society develops, the modern civilization, everything is connected to this Buddhi part. Because it is the material world through which you are experiencing all these materials. And then the second one, the Manas, the mind part, that stands for emotional mind, emotional world. It's about your feelings, your experiences, how you see things, how you experience things. And then the third one stands for your identity, ego. That is about who you really are. But since we are average human beings, we don't go beyond the Manas part, go beyond the mind part. We just know about the material world and then the emotional world. We don't care about who we really are, or we don't care about what our subconscious mind is. We don't try to tap those things. We don't try to understand what our past life karmas are, because our subconscious mind has all these things. It's like the cosmic storage. That's why we call it Akashic records. So let's not talk about those things and stick to the topic. Like I said, Buddhi is about the logical world and Manas is about the emotional world. So Manas stands for your emotions, your feelings, the how your mind is programmed. So your mind is programmed in a certain way through your life experiences. So your feelings, how you are feeling something, whether you are too much emotional, whether you are feeling something in a deep way or in a very shallow way, those things are based on your life experiences. That is why you are different from others. That is why you are even different from your own siblings. Like I said, the Buddhi part is about your material world and Manas part is about your emotional world. Emotions means your feelings, your experiences. Your feelings are based on your life experiences since your childhood, since your birth. So your mind is getting programmed every day in, day out through your life experiences. This is why you are different from your own siblings. You are different from your friends. You are different from your peers. And through this programming, you act and react in a certain way. This is why moon is very important. This is why astrologers look at moon also, because most of the time your ascendant chart can say something and that will also happen, but your experience can be something different. For example, if I'm telling you that you are going to win a lottery next month, maybe you will not even be interested. So even after getting the money, you may not feel happy about it, because your mind can be somewhere else, somewhere, in a different scenario. It can think about something different. It can experience the lottery winning as some sort of responsibility, too much burden. So this is why both ascendant and moon chart are important. Another thing is, moon is the closest graha to us. It is the closest celestial body. So what happens is that in astrology, moon gathers all the information from all other planets and it delivers to us. So that is why moon's position is very important to understand, to pinpoint the prediction. It has to come to the right place to deliver it to you. Otherwise, you will not even experience it. So looking at moon's position to finalize the prediction is very important. And also how you will be feeling, how you will be experiencing those things. For that also, moon's position is very important. And moon chart is also important. Because from moon chart, you can easily see what all the other planets are going to bring, what sort of experiences all those other planets are going to bring. All these sort of things are important from moon's position. You will get to know from moon's position. Because moon is like the delivery person. So for example, if I'm looking at your chart and if I'm telling you that Jupiter and Saturn, Venus, every planet is aspecting your 7th house and you have the right dasha. But if your moon is completely in a different place, then that will not bless you the marriage, because all these planets are telling you that you are going to get married, but that has to come to you, that has to come to your doorstep. That doorstep becomes moon, because it is the delivery boy. It has to come to bring you that delivery parcel. Otherwise, you will not receive it. I'll give you another example. Just look at this house. This house is your ascendant. This is your birth chart. And your ascendant is the outlook of this house. So all these different rooms in this house are going to be the different houses of your birth chart. So where would you put your moon? This doorstep becomes your moon. It becomes your moon's position. So based on your actual natal chart's moon's position, the doorstep can be in the front, or it can be in the side, or even it can be in the back. But based on your doorstep, your life is going to, your experience is going to be there. You will experience the outside world through this doorstep. You have to come through this to experience the outside world, to talk to others, to manually meet others and talk to others like that. because I mean these days like people are talking over internet and everything, so I have to tell you this point. You have to like physically come out through this doorstep to meet others. So that is why moon acts as the doorstep. So ascendant and moon chart both are important, and this is why astrologers look at both these things, because how you experience something in some like life scenarios, that is also important. Because let's say you're at your 25th age and 25th year, and you're coming to me for marriage consultation, and if I'm telling you that only at the age of 40 you will get married, how will your feelings be? How will you feel? You will feel like you're not even happy about it. Marriage is a happy thing, but you will not even happy about it, because you will feel like, okay, at the age of 40, so like I want to get married next year or like in the next few years, but you are telling me only at the age of 40 my chart is blessing me marriage. So that is why how you are going to experience your life scenarios are also important. And this is how through your life experiences, through your emotions, through your feelings, you are going to perform your life's karmas, your karmic debts. And the same way you are going to, make new karmas. So this is why both these things are important. Both ascendant sign and moon sign, both are important, and including the nakshatras. They both will tell you the same thing, but in a different way. They will not contradict each other. The only main thing is you have to look at what is going to happen and how it is going to happen. So for example, like in your birth chart, if you have moon in the second house from your lagna, then you may look at your marriage as an obstacle, because your 7th house becomes 6th house from your moon's position. So you may look at your marriage as an obstacle, as a limitation. You may look at your spouse as an enemy. You may feel like your marriage is a battleground. You may always have some sort of arguments, disputes with your spouse. Or let's say if your moon is in 5th house from your ascendant, then from that placement your 7th house becomes 3 houses away. So you may even act in a friendly way to your spouse. You may even put a lot of efforts in your marriage. Or let's say if your moon is 11 houses away from your ascendant, so from that placement your 7th house becomes 9th house from your moon's position. So you may treat your partner as your teacher. You may even get a lot of guidance from them. You may even love to travel with them. So this is how moon's position denotes your life scenarios. Because we are not robots, we have feelings. We feel, we experience everything. So through which we are going to perform our life's karmas. This is why moon chart is also as important as the lagna chart. This is how you have to look at both these things to understand your life's pattern. So I hope this video helped you understanding the concept of ascendant and moon chart. And if you are new to this channel, then subscribe below. And if you want to know more about astrology, then check out the website milkywayastrology.com. Under the article section, you will find various articles on astrology, and under the shop section, you will find various options to get a direct consultation from me along with the free PDF report. I will meet you in my next video. Thank you so much.